Well, Janatan Sayeh joins us now. He is a research analyst at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. Janatan, welcome. So we've, of course, seen previous deals that have fallen apart. Janatan, what is different about this one?
It is truly a historic moment, but perhaps three main topics differentiate this deal from previous ones. One is the fact that this deal, compared to the previous one, has a comprehensive vision. It has a long-term vision for the Gaza Strip. It is beyond, at least the intent is beyond just a prisoner swap or a short-term ceasefire. It actually has a reconstruction plan after Hamas is defeated or is disarmed. The other angle from this is that it also is inclusive of our allies. It has an international consortium that would be aiding this process, going beyond just our transatlantic allies and our regional allies as well. And the third and the most important, it actually calls for a full disarmament of Hamas, and that is truly extraordinary.
You say that it's both comprehensive and inclusive. You do mention the disarmament. Publicly, it makes no mention of Hamas's future in politics or weapons disarmament. Do you think that could potentially be a stumbling block in the next phase of the peace agreement?
That continues to be the main challenge with any terrorist group, whether it's going to be Hamas or Iran-backed militias in Iraq or even Hezbollah in Lebanon. However, when we're dealing with these entities, one issue is the intent. Terrorist groups are not going to disabandon their long-term vision that is inherently anti-American and anti-Jewish. But also the other challenge is the source of these funding. So the weapons that are coming from the Islamic Republic of Iran, so long as that supply chain is still in effect, that will continue to pose a challenge for any intent of disarmament.
Yeah. So Israel is more isolated today than it was 2 years ago. Hamas is very much weakened and its leadership is really hollowed out. Janatan, what do both sides gain in all of this?
When we talk about Hamas, of course, they're able to receive many of their prisoners, most of whom that are actually terrorists or are serving life sentences. So they're able to get that back. They will have a chance, their leadership, at least on paper, has the opportunity to leave Gaza if they desire. On the other hand, for Israelis, it's more of a political thing for Netanyahu's coalition. And now that he's able to deliver of his long promise of actually returning the hostages, that is a huge political win, and it lifts a lot of the pressure off of his administration, which means now he can actually focus on other foreign policy issues that are still linked to the Islamic Republic, that are still tied to Hamas.
Janatan, I wonder if you could revisit for us what Hamas's goal was 2 years ago, because as Jenna was just saying, they're incredibly weakened. A lot of their leadership is now gone. Gaza has now been destroyed. It's in rubble. So their objectives, what do they gain?
As you accurately pointed out, prosperity of the Gaza Strip has never been part of Hamas's agenda. It's debatable whether, to begin with, they were expecting such a retaliation from Israel or not. But ultimately, I think a lot of the focus when it comes to the Palestinian issue was centered around the West Bank. Gaza was not as much of a topic of conversation, and the region was more and more open to normalizing with Israel. And that was the exact intent from Hamas, to, again, resurge the Palestinian issue in disguised, again, you know, when we talk about Hamas, again, portrayed as a Palestinian cause, whereas it's really about Hamas, and to further isolate Israel from its regional partners to deter the future of the Abraham Accords. But with this plan being in place, that is looking a bit more optimistic for us to actually see normalization between Israel and ideally our Persian Gulf allies.
So President Trump, he heads to Israel this weekend, and he may address the Knesset, Israel's parliament. He has been involved in multiple peace efforts around the globe. Janatan, how much credit does President Trump deserve?
Plenty. So it's because of this administration that they were able to both incentivize and compel Hamas to at least agree to release the hostages. And they were able to do that. One, of course, it was a diplomatic breakthrough, but the build-up towards it was this administration's strategy to ensure that we can, in fact, support our allies during a war. And that has been a fruitful strategy. We've seen the results of that. Backing Israel in this context actually helped us to get back the hostages and get an inch closer towards a potential deal. We've seen the similar situation happen when, under this administration, we struck the Iranian nuclear facilities as well. So it just goes to show that by leveraging proper diplomatic and military means, we're able to have breakthroughs anywhere in the world, really.
All right, Janatan Sayeh, thank you so much for being with us tonight and helping share your expertise.